3 minutes ago, the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing room was at a breaking point. Tension inside the Senate Judiciary Committee hearing room had reached its peak. Attorney General Pam Bondi now faced her own reckoning, coming directly after the collapse of FBI Director Kash Patel under questioning. And when Vermont Senator Peter Welch stood up to question her, everyone in the room understood immediately. This would not be a routine hearing. Welch was a former prosecutor. He knew Bondi's tactics. He knew exactly what she did when cornered, and that was why he began the questioning with an unconventional opening. "Ms. Bondi," he said calmly but firmly, "I want to begin by saying something very clearly. When you are cornered, you typically bring up the other person's past. You personalize the exchange. You deflect." Bondi's face tightened. Welch continued, "But today that tactic will not work, because I will be asking you concrete questions, and I expect concrete answers. Are we clear?" The room fell silent. Bondi nodded, but the unease in her eyes was unmistakable. Welch smiled slightly. "Then let's begin." The leukemia case and the charity answer. Welch opened the first folder in front of him. "Ms. Bondi, there's a family in Vermont. They have a 7-year-old child with leukemia. On November 1st, their health insurance premiums will triple. The family will not be able to pay. The child will not receive treatment." Bondi listened, her expression cold and detached. Welch asked, "You are the Attorney General of the United States. You are also part of this government. What are you going to do for this child?" Bondi's response froze the room. "There are excellent charities in Vermont," she said. "The family can apply to them." Welch stared at her. "Charities?" "Yes," Bondi replied flatly. "Charities can help in situations like—" "Wait a minute!" Welch shouted. "Are you seriously telling me that your solution for the health insurance crisis affecting millions of Americans is charities?" Bondi hesitated. This is a systemic problem." Welch slammed the table. "Millions of families cannot afford health insurance, and your answer is go to a charity?" Bondi attempted to deploy her standard diversion. "Senator, the real systemic issue is that Democrats want to give health insurance to undocumented immigrants, and that's why the government is shutting down." "No," Welch cut her off. "I am talking about a child with leukemia, and you are talking about immigrants?" The room erupted. Reporters began writing furiously. Welch continued, "This is the classic Bondi tactic. I ask a concrete question and you pivot to immigration, but today that will not work." Bondi, sweating now, said, "I'm simply stating the facts." "Facts?" Welch laughed. "The fact is a child is dying and your solution is charity." The claim that Vermont was taken over. Welch moved to the second file. "Ms. Bondi, your office sent a letter to the state of Vermont. In that letter, you claimed that Vermont's election system had been taken over by the left and demanded access to all voter records." Bondi said nothing. Welch held up the document. "Here is the letter. Your signature. It states, quote, 'Vermont's election system is being manipulated by left-wing ideology. What evidence do you have to support that claim?' Bondi attempted to deflect. "Our mission is to ensure free and fair elections." "No," Welch interrupted. "I don't want slogans, I want evidence. Has Vermont's system been taken over? Yes or no?" "Our responsibility in every state is to ensure election integrity." "Answer the question!" Welch shouted. "Has Vermont's system been taken over?" Bondi, visibly shaken, said, "Our duty is to protect democratic processes." "Oh, I've asked you 3 times!" Welch slammed the table. 3 times, and 3 times you've responded with generic talking points. Where is the evidence?" Welch raised his voice. "Vermont has a Republican governor. If the system has been taken over by the left, how did a Republican governor get elected?" Bondi froze. I mean, gubernatorial elections." "If the system was taken over," Welch shouted, "how did a Republican governor win?" Bondi had no answer. Welch smiled. "Because it hasn't been taken over. You are lying. You are targeting states with baseless claims." Special treatment for Ted Cruz, the double standard. Welch now moved to what he called Bondi's greatest hypocrisy. "Ms. Bondi, Senator Ted Cruz questioned you about the Kavanaugh matter. Do you remember that?" Bondi nodded. Yes. And you answered his questions in full detail, correct? Yes, But that case is still pending, Welch shouted. It is on appeal. The judicial process is ongoing. Yet you answered Senator Cruz's questions in detail. Bondi stammered. Senator Cruz's questions were different. Different? Welch laughed. Then let me ask you this. When I asked you about the Epstein files, what did you say? Bondi said nothing. Welch answered for her. You said, the case is ongoing, I cannot comment. The Kavanaugh case is ongoing, but you spoke to Cruz. The Epstein case is closed, but you won't speak to me. He slammed the table. That is a double standard. Bondi tried to respond. I explained to Senator Cruz. Cruz is a Republican, Welch shouted. That's why you answered him. I'm a Democrat, and that's why you won't answer me. The silence in the room was suffocating. As Attorney General, you cannot discriminate by party, Welch said. But you are. The $50,000 FBI payment. Welch moved to the most sensitive issue. Ms. Bondi, did the FBI transfer $50,000 to Tom Homan? Bondi hesitated. I can't speak to the details. Yes or no? Welch demanded. Yes, but that occurred before I took office. $50,000, Welch shouted. From the FBI to Tom Homan. Where is the money? Bondi deflected. That matter has been resolved. How? Welch slammed the table. Where is the money? In his account? Somewhere else? Where? Bondi could not answer. You are the Attorney General, Welch shouted. The FBI reports to you. And you're telling this committee you don't know where $50,000 went? Bondi attempted to pivot. Senator, Tom Homan has done an extraordinary job on border security. No, Welch cut her off. I didn't ask about his job performance. I asked where the money is. Border security is critical. Where is the $50,000? Welch shouted. I don't have that information, Bondi said weakly. Welch laughed. You're the Attorney General, and you don't know where $50,000 from the FBI went. The Epstein files and the Trump meeting. Welch finally arrived at the core issue. Ms. Bondi, in May, you went to the White House and had a private meeting with President Donald Trump. Correct? Bondi's face drained of color. I regularly meet with the president. Is that true or not? Welch pressed. Yes. And what did you tell him in that meeting? That conversation is privileged. Privileged? Welch laughed. The Wall Street Journal reported it. Bondi informed Trump that his name appears in the Epstein files. Is that false? Bondi trembled. Did you tell him his name appears in the files? Welch demanded. Silence. And what did the president ask you? Welch continued. Will these files be released? Bondi said nothing. And you said, I'll speak with the FBI director. And 1 week later, Director Patel locked the files. Bondi whispered, That's a coincidence. A coincidence? Welch laughed. You meet with Trump, you speak with Patel, and the files are locked. That's your coincidence? Ongoing case, the final lie. Welch delivered the final blow. When I asked you about the Epstein files, what did you say? Bondi replied quietly, The case is ongoing. That is a lie, Welch shouted. Epstein died in 2019. The case is closed. Maxwell was convicted. What case is ongoing? Bondi stammered. The appeals process. Maxwell waived her appeal. Welch held up the document. She waived it in 2023. The case is closed. He stared at her. So why do you keep saying the case is ongoing? Bondi had no answer. Because it's an excuse, Welch said. An excuse to hide the files. You protect Trump. Final statement. Welch gathered his papers. Ms. Bondi, today you showed us exactly who you are. For a child with leukemia, your answer is charity. For states you target, no evidence. For $50,000, no accountability. For Senator Cruz, full cooperation. For this committee, stonewalling. You are not acting as Attorney General. You are acting as Donald Trump's personal lawyer. He looked directly at her. History will judge you.